Hi everyone, this is Kathy of Kathy Rose Creations. Um, this is a video that I've had to do over again because for the second time I accidentally deleted my video while editing. I'm gonna get the hang of this. I swear I'm gonna get the hang of this. Okay, the video I did was in my journal. This is the journal. If you looked at my intro video, I showed some of my work, and this was the one where I said I didn't like the cover and that I was going to do it over again. I did. I slapped the coat of gesso on it. So it's kind of a blank slate with a little bit of color in the background. Actually, I kind of like it. I just need to put some titles and stuff on it. Anyway, the video that I did was on this page, and I really like it. I don't know if you can see it here. It didn't exactly turn out the way I thought it would, but I had this background paper. It's actually a photograph out of a book. I found a book, an old used book that has all kinds of gorgeous photography in it, and I did a little ripping of pages, and it was the sea and the shore and the sky, and so I ended up putting some Mod Podge on it and some gesso. And then I also used some fabric paint. It's a dimensional fabric paint that had a little bit of glitter in it. And I actually worked, or when I put it on there, I kind of made it kind of poofy with the clouds. So they look like clouds. And I had this image out of a magazine, and I gave her kind of a crown headdress thing with a little bit of lace and some flat back pearls. And of course, every lady has to have wings, a la Packer Dye. Thank you, Packer Dye. You inspire me all the time. And some flowers and some little plastic C-type thingies. And the quote is, and a little bit of music paper. The quote is, "The sea called. My soul and I answered with all." I kind of thought that was neat. Okay, I'm going to attempt another page, and I hope I can edit it and upload it without deleting the darn thing. Before I begin, when I did my little shout out in my intro, I forgot somebody, and that was Lori Richardson Haley. Lori, I am so sorry, but my brain sometimes goes, I have a brain fart. But I couldn't, I was trying to list off everybody that inspires me, and you're one of them. But in your videos, you talk about your foo-foo coffee. I do foo-foo coffee too. I keep a little shaker thing in my fridge with skim milk, Splenda, vanilla, and it has 3 or 4 cinnamon sticks in it, and I shake it all up really good, and I put that in my coffee, and it's very good. I love coffee. I drink it all day long. At noon I do switch to decaf so that I'm not prowling around all night. What is it? When I was younger, I could drink caffeinated coffee all the time, and it never ever bothered me. Anyway, here's to you, Lori. Foo-foo coffee. My sister calls it that crap that you put in your coffee, but I don't care. Everybody likes their coffee the way they like their coffee. And I can't pronounce it. I can't remember the Mary Atelier. I'm sure I just murdered that name, but I love your work too. And Mary always lights a candle while she's doing her artwork. And I thought that was kind of sweet. And so I said, I'm going to do that too. Anyway, I keep, well, the last couple months, I had this little notebook that I covered with paper and made it all pretty. And this is my little quote notebook that I started. And anytime I see or hear a quote anywhere, I write it down in here. Kind of give you some idea. It's just a little one. And so when I need inspiration, I can look in here and decide, you know, that what I want to do. Also, Claudia Rossi has generated some prompts, Crazy Island Journal family, and she has developed, I think, something like 75, 80 prompts if you get stuck. And she painted, oh, she did it so cute. She painted them on like popsicle stick things and then decorated them and put the quotes on there and put them all in a little bucket. And then when she gets stuck, she can pull one out and, okay, you know, it says, you know, paint some gesso with your fingers, or turn your page 90 degrees. And, you know, there's all kinds of bizarre things. Well, I'm not going to do the sticks, but I've got another plan on how to use those prompts, because every once in a while, I mean, I have lots of things to inspire me and lots of people on YouTube, but every once in a while, you're just like, I just don't know what to do. I've got this great picture. I don't know what, you know, quote would go with it or anything. But anyway, I'm going to use her idea. And this page, I did some of it ahead of time because I didn't want everybody having to wait, and I didn't want a 5-hour video. But I found this image in a magazine a gajillion years ago of a lady writing. And I'm going to use this to do my journal page. Now, I'm using homemade Mod Podge. I know Shannon Green said, no, it's not really Mod Podge, but it's just white glue with a little bit of water. So it's like, you know, whatever works. It's cheap. Mod Podge is expensive, and so is gesso and gel medium and all of those wonderful things that artists use. Oops, I need to have another paper underneath this. So my pages don't stick all together. I'm not used to doing art in a journal form, so this is kind of a new adventure for me. I mean, I'm finding it fun, and I keep seeing things that will make great journals. And oh, before I stick her down, she has to have a crown. Oops, I'm out of frame here. I have a ring from an advertisement that I'm using. Again, a la Packer die. She does that. And of course, she has to have wings. And I cut a butterfly in half. Ah, poor butterfly. But I'm just going to take them on the back so they don't go flying all over the place. Okay, there she goes. In the video that I lost, that I deleted, it's probably floating up there in cyber somewhere. I told the story of my sister and her husband who went to the North Pole my sister's 50th birthday present. She asked for it. She wanted it. She wanted to go to the North Pole. They'd been to Antarctica, and she wanted to do both poles. You know, there's not that many people in the country that have gone to both poles, and they got an article in the San Diego newspaper about them, which I thought was kind of cool. And the story is that they lost her luggage. I won't name the airlines, but she was not a happy camper. She got to Moscow, getting ready to get onto a Russian icebreaker to go to the North Pole, and she's dressed like San Diego, you know. Not exactly equipped for the North Pole. So, she had a major meltdown in Moscow, totally embarrassed my brother-in-law and everybody else that thinks Americans are crazy. Now they know for sure. At least some of them are. And she ended up having to get on board the ship without her luggage. Luckily, the tour group they were with provided parkas, so she at least had that. And surprisingly, she survived because everybody on board the ship, they were all so generous. The other passengers and the crew, they were all, gave her gloves and shoes or boots and stuff like that, and hats and scarves, and I mean it was great. I mean, she was able to survive, and this Russian icebreaker was during the summer months when they're not. I think it's the summer. When they're not doing their like real work, going up there and breaking up the ice, they have a skeleton crew and they rent out the cabins to tours. And Julie said they were all so nice. And my sister has shopped all over the world. I mean, she has bought things everywhere. I mean, they've been to, you know, Morocco and Cuba and China and Greece. I mean, they've been everywhere. Now, I think they've been to Greece. My brother-in-law thought being on a Russian icebreaker, he'd be safe and she wouldn't be able to shop. Yeah, the Russians know Americans. They had a little closet that they kept things for the tourists to buy, and they changed it daily. So my sister was able to find stuff to buy in the North Pole at the North Pole on a Russian icebreaker. So my brother-in-law, he gave up. He's like, okay, no, she's just not, you know, she will find it anywhere. So I think I'll get some Distress ink. I need to get a re-inker for my Distress ink. It's Tim Holtz tea dye. I like it. It's a little reddish, but I don't really mind it that much. But it's starting to not. Maybe I need to try it with a sponge. But, see, it's not quite as good as, oops, I guess you can't see that. It's not as dark as it should be. These are pieces, really, really old dictionary that, I don't know, my sister had it in her stash somewhere and she decided to clean house. So over Thanksgiving, she sent me home with a pile of books. Some of them I'm keeping, some of them I'm going to donate to the library without ripping pages out of them. So, we both live in Southern California. She's in the San Diego area. I'm about 30 miles east of Disneyland in Riverside County, which most people don't know where that's at. Used to be in the old days, it was like the Boondocks. I mean, it was like the place where, you know, nobody went up here. It was all orange groves and ranches and stuff like that. Well, now it's the big city. So, anyway. So, I went, whoops, my book. I went down to San Diego for Thanksgiving, and we had a wonderful time. Just 3 of us, her and her husband and myself, and my dog. I guess she counts too, so. But, I may not, whoops, and pardon me for sniffing. I saw somebody on some video got really snippy with somebody about, I'm really sick of hearing your snot, sucking your snot up, and it's like, come on, you know, it's an unconscious thing. You don't even realize you're doing it, and if you have allergies or anything like that, and trust me, in my house, because of the cats and the dogs, and all the cat hair and dog hair floating around. What did I do with the thing I just, oh, they're on the floor. I am always sniffing. So, hey. There we go again. I didn't mean to do that. It was subconscious. And I just stuck my paintbrush in my candle. I truly should not be allowed out on my own. I need to keep her. And my son will tell you that. So, I feel really bad on my video. Like, I thought I did a pretty good job on it, and I'm so new at this, and just, I'm not quite used to talking to well, yeah, I am used to talking to myself, but usually I'm talking to my dog or my cats, and so it's like not really talking to myself. Whoops, you know. See, I'm talking to myself. I can't talk and do this at the same time. I'll get it. I'll figure it out eventually. I know you guys can't hear it, but I can hear my cat snoring. She has the loudest snore. She's clear in the living room, and I can hear her, and it was so loud, I thought at first that she was underneath my art table here, because sometimes she likes to lay under there. And then I went out to get my foo-foo coffee and realized she was up in her cat tree. But gosh, she is so loud, and she likes to sleep with me, and she likes to sleep up next to my pillow. So she snores right in my ear. Who needs a husband when you have a cat that likes to snore? So, anyway, okay, I kind of like that. I'm going to pause this and then dry it. I think I'm going to pause it. We'll see if I figure out how to pause it.